In this video, we have images that were taken from a very small object that was floating in water. To the right side, you may see and perceive several reddish-looking aliens with their eyes and nose and mouth. Here we're looking at that same scene. Many of these images are difficult to watch. I'm putting this out in 4K. If you can watch it on a smaller 4K screen or a high quality laptop screen, you may get the best results. Even though this object is only perhaps 10 to 15 millimeters wide, within it, when I do extreme close-ups of frame captures, I see images which appear to be some type of creature. Some of them look like humans, some of them look like they may be wearing some type of headgear. A lot of them look to be alien in terms of what we know here. But in this scene, we see someone looking like they're at a controls. They're in the far left side of the screen. I'll do a close-up in a moment. This is a wide shot of this object. Again, it's only perhaps 15 millimeters or 20 millimeters wide, and yet it has all this detail. Here's that same person or individual at the far top. Looks like they're sitting there doing something. Here we're going to pan up towards it. And we can see what looks like a light-colored face, even perhaps some hair, etc. Again, these are very low-resolution pictures because of the incredible tininess of it all. But by cropping very closely, I was able to find these images throughout this object. The viewer can look at it and have their own interpretations, but overall, I don't believe that anyone has seen this type of detail within a very small object floating in the water. And I think it's only the quality of the sensors in this high-end telephone I use, plus the 4K resolution, that ends up allowing me to make frame captures, which then I can reduce the haze in and adjust the contrast, etc., to produce more viewable images. There is no artificial intelligence employed in any way whatsoever on these pictures. There may be artificial intelligence or extraterrestrial intelligence involved with the design of this object, but not in the photography that I've done here. This is another view with different adjustments to the same image, contrast. We'll let a car go by. We see a lot of detailed structure here. Here's another part of that same image where we're seeing something that looks like it maybe have multiple legs or prongs sticking out, and also pretty strong coloration. Colors have not been altered. Sometimes I do increase the saturation to make details come out, but there has not been any broad change of color. This is another object from a separate video where it looks like we have several things going on at the same time, including an individual perhaps on the far left side holding on to something. Bright area looks like a little computer laptop or monitor, then some object here apparently holding on to some type of cable or string. And then on the far left, there's an object that looks like some type of small ship. Again, these are floating in water All this is being taken through the layer of water of an inch or two. And here's another close-up of that object. I have not seen any reporting on similar phenomena. I do believe this is new. And again, I have to say it, there is no artificial intelligence being used to create these images. Simple, basic contrast, haze, clarity controls, which are in the Lightroom mobile application. I have a little camera shake. It was late in the afternoon on these, but I think you can still get an idea of the complexity of these very small objects. Here we're looking at a possibility of several figures on a diagonal there. Some otherwise, I don't understand these objects, but they look like they were moored or protruding from that same larger object. These are not easy images to look at. This is just basically a beginning in this project. We continue to work on refining these images using these basic controls of contrast, haze reduction, etc. Occasionally I will employ sharpening, but I don't think it gives a very good result. You can see the complexity of some of these objects. Looking here, almost perhaps a figure right there in the middle, standing. Excuse the background noise, I'm down here in rural Mexico, completing aspects of this project. Again, going back to that same object we saw before, multiple parts to it, extensions, likely a figure on the far left, and then as we pan upwards, we see more. Here, this is that same object, the large object we've been looking at mostly, where it looks like there's several figures, and then some more figures in the background. Again, their size would be millimeter size. Hard to imagine any living being of a millimeter size. I do believe it would have to come from a situation that's far different than that on Earth. So I do think these are extraterrestrial or multiverse examples. I've been working on this project for almost 2 years now, and I continue on it on almost a daily basis to look at these images. I view them upside down, sideways, trying to figure out the best orientation and the most likely orientation. That same object we saw before, the left side, looks like almost someone in the center there with a hatch open. You can see it's a screenshot. And the close-up, again, looking like a hatch open, and then various figures sitting. The lack of detail in some of these frames, or most of these frames, comes from the fact that they're very small, and so I have to crop them very tightly to show you this information in a video. Here's another part of that far right of that same ship. It looks like actually something's moving there. The hand that's in the frame there was just an accidental placement, but it is the same area where it looked like someone from one frame to another had actually changed position, as though I was not looking at something that was frozen or dead, but something that was alive at the time that the video was taken about 1.5 years ago. Here's a broad view of it, and I hope you are interested and look at other videos. Subscribe to my channel. We'll be posting more.